The final episode of Star Trek Picard has come and gone, but did you catch all of the Easter eggs and details in this episode? Hey everyone, my name is Ketwolski and welcome to Trek Central. Today, this video, we'll be going over all the details and Easter eggs that we picked up on from Star Trek Picard Episode 10. And as we have come to expect, there are quite a few references to other iterations of the Star Trek franchise. Therefore, we've picked out our favorite 26 of those to tell you about today. As a heads up and a quick reminder, there will of course be spoilers for Star Trek Picard Episode 10 and Season 1 in this video, so you have been warned. Also, be sure to remember to subscribe to Trek Central here on YouTube if you want to see more videos. Alright, let's jump right into it. Coming in at number 1, we find out in this episode that, similar to the evacuation beaming seen in Stardust City Rag, Narissa hadn't beamed to a ship, but had simply beamed to another location on the Borg cube. Coming in at number 2, Narek informs his sister of a plan to use molecular solvent grenade canisters to destroy the defensive flowers around the synth compound. Molecular solvent seems to be a favorite of the Zhat Vash, as molecular solvents were used to destroy Maddox's personal lab, which was found out in Stardust City Rag when he told Bjayzl. Coming in at number 3, Rios asks if Raffi has been hitting that Horgel, with Horgel being the Orion vape tool which Raffi has been using throughout the series. Coming in at number 4, the problem with La Sirena is that its intermix reactor has been fused. Intermix has been a part of Star Trek since the original series, but it wasn't actually mentioned in TOS, it was just put into some of the scripts. The best episode, talking about the intermix of the Warp Core, would be the Enterprise episode First Flight, where Jonathan Archer, A.G. Robinson, and Trip Tucker have to deal with the intermix ratio of an NX prototype. Coming in at number 5, in the Romulan Fleet, we see a number of snakeheads and Romulan cruisers, but we get a good look at one of the new Romulan starships and what appears to be the flagship of this fleet. It still sticks with the bird-like design for the ship, which has been throughout most of the Romulan ship designs in the franchise to date. Coming in at number 6, the gang decides to hide the molecular solvent device within a Futsa ball. The Futsa ball is a weighted ball and is played on a hard court, which Rios has been playing since a couple of episodes ago. One little detail which I love is that Rios kicks the explosive football, so you can see Raffi reacting knowing that it contains explosive within it. Coming in at number 7, Soong has a remote to deactivate Sutra instead of using her deactivation switch, presuming this second generation of Soong androids even have deactivation switches. The first generation of Soong-type androids did have those switches, which Riker used to drastic effect during the court hearing in Measure of a Man. One impossible thing at a time. Coming in at number 8, this appears to be a very common phrase said between Raffi and Picard that we also hear Agnes say at the end of this episode. Coming in at number 9, the orchids seen in Dash's apartment also have weird movements to them, so probably a smaller version of the spacefaring orchids that we see later on in this series. And at number 10, Agnes tells Picard that whatever ingenious plan he comes up with should be called the Picard Maneuver, before realizing that this maneuver actually already exists. The Picard Maneuver was invented by Picard in 2355 when the USS Stargazer was under attack by a Ferengi ship. The Stargazer went in and then out of high warp in front of the Ferengi ship, which caused 2 sensor readings of the Stargazer to appear. Number 11. The use of holographic ships to slow down an enemy is not unique in Star Trek, for it was seen and used by the USS Voyager in their fights against the Kazon in the episode Basics Part 1. Number 12. The Federation ships that arrive look very similar to the Pathfinder class. The Pathfinder, of course, was an upgrade to the Intrepid class starship, such as the USS Voyager. The Pathfinder had only a crew complement of around 200, which would explain why there's so many of the same class present, with Starfleet now preferring lots of smaller ships instead of big Galaxy-class starships, which could have up to 6,000 crew members on board. Number 13. Captain Riker comes to save Picard and the synthetics on Capellius. This isn't the first time that Riker turns up to save Picard in a future timeline. Admiral Riker, from the Anti-Time timeline, also did this in the TNG episode All Good Things. What is fun to note is that the comm badge in All Good Things is very similar to the comm badge in Picard, and both versions, Riker has a gray beard. Number 14. Captain Riker is in command of the USS Zhang He, presumably named after the Chinese fleet admiral who was a famous explorer. Number 15. The bridge of the USS Zhang He is actually a redressing of the Discovery bridge, as Frakes was shooting Discovery at the time of this cameo. Number 16. In the background of the Zhang He's bridge, you can see the classic Red Alert symbol that has been in many Trek series before. Number 17. Captain Riker states that the terms of the treaty allow Starfleet to place Capellius under its protection. The treaty, of course, that he's referring to is the Treaty of Alderaan, and that was a treaty between the Romulan Empire and the Federation that prohibited the Federation's development of cloaking technology and kept the Romulans out of the galactic fairs for a time period. There seems to be other stipulations in that treaty as well, but we did a video on this treaty if you'd like to know more. Number 18. 7 of 9 appears to drink what is presumably synthahol from the original series-style bottle. Number 19. The complex quantum simulation which Picard finds himself in is a gray version of his chateau from his vineyard. What's interesting here is that it contained items of Data's, such as the phrenology bust that we see in TNG and a sculpture of a cat, presumably a reference to Spot, which was Data's cat. Number 20. Picard becoming a synthetic was actually foreshadowed in the opening of the series, as we see fragments of Picard coming together to reform himself at the end of the opening credits. Number 21. As Picard is giving Data a final farewell, the chips he is disconnecting seem to be an isolinear chip, and a form of memory/storage device that has been seen in Star Trek before. Number 22. Picard quotes The Tempest, saying, "We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep." As is well known, Patrick Stewart is a Shakespearean actor and has actually played in The Tempest. Avery Brooks, who played Sisko, also played a character in The Tempest. In The Next Generation, even Data performed The Tempest on the Enterprise. Number 23. As Data sings Blue Skies at the Riker and Troy's wedding, it is Issa Briones, who plays Soji and Daj, and Sutra, that sings Blue Skies during Data's funeral. This is a hauntingly beautiful rendition of the song, and it really gets you emotional. Number 24. Seven and Raffi are playing a Vulcan game of logic in which you place sticks together to create a perfect sphere. This game, of course, is known as Cal-To. This was a game favored by not only Tuvok on the USS Voyager, to which Seven was good friends with, but also to Icheb, the son that Seven lost to Bjayzl. So it's nice to see Seven picking this game back up. Number 25. And in this blink if you miss it spot, you see Seven and Raffi holding hands and hitting it off. Both have lost loved ones during the series in different ways, so it's kind of nice to see them together. Number 26. Now, knowing that the Federation was played by the Zhat Vash agents that had infiltrated Starfleet, the synthetic ban has now been reversed. This not only means that Soji and the android can become Federation citizens and travel, but also that Picard is free to travel as well. And that is all the Easter eggs and details we managed to find in the finale of Star Trek Picard. If you found anything, be sure to let us know via comment section below, as we're always interested to see what you have to say about Star Trek. That's it from us here at Trek Central today. If you want to keep up to date on all things Star Trek, news, lore, and more, then make sure to subscribe to the Trek Central channel here on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates, visit our website, or even join our brand new community Discord server. For now, I've been Ketwolski, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.